Great are mums. Today we're going to be celebrating all the amazing women around the world with making these beautiful Mother's Day cookies. I don't know a better way to say I love you than in edible form. So today we're going to be producing 2 cookies, one that says Happy Mother's Day directly and one that says love you. I think any mum would feel so appreciated knowing that you handmade a gift yourself for them in your own time and with your own choices of colors and flavors and things like that. So today I've got some different sprinkles that we're going to add onto the cookies. We've got our sugar cookies already baked in a round cookie. I've got some pink fondant and some white, and we're going to color that to a darker pink when we're ready. I've got my rolling pin, some cutters, some corn flour, a little bit of water with a paintbrush to stick the icing onto the cookie, and I've got some beautiful embosses that have stunning prints that say Happy Mother's Day and love you, and these are going to be such a simple and effective way to add your message onto the icing of the cookie. So let's get started. I can't wait to show you how to make your own custom cookies. So now I'm going to color my white fondant to a darker pink. You can obviously leave this white if you like, or you can do any design, but I'm going to use my raspberry food coloring to get a nice deep pink. So if you're baking at home, you might not have the special chef's uniform or anything, but that's okay. Just roll up your sleeves and make sure you don't have a top that can put lint onto the fondant. So I'm just going to knead the fondant just to ensure it's nice and smooth, and then I'm going to give my food coloring a little shake and add a few drops onto the fondant. If you have some gloves available, it is best to wear some gloves. Otherwise you will have stained hands afterwards. But just use some dishwashing soap and you will get that off in no time. I love this shade of food colouring. It's one of my favourites actually. It's from Colour Mill. You can buy it online at Caker's Warehouse. It's a gorgeous shade because it's going to complement that rosy pink, which would be perfect for Mother's Day. Once you've got the desired colour, you can obviously add more food colouring if you like, but I think those two will go perfectly together. Once you've got that, you are going to have scary fingers and you don't want your husband coming home wondering what you've been up to all day. So you want to wash those off and clean off your bench so there's no food colour left over, and then we'll be ready to roll our cookies. I'm just going to dust some corn flour on my bench just so our fondant doesn't stick on that. And I'm going to roll out both colours separately because I want to make 3 cookies, the lighter pink and 3 of the darker. So I'm just going to put a little bit of corn flour on top and just roll that out. If you need more corn flour, just add a little bit more on. Just make sure you pick it up every so often so you make sure that it doesn't stick to the bench. Oh, we're stuck. So if it does that, just add a little bit more and a little bit on top. I'm just going to set that one to the side for a minute. I'm just going to roll our other pink fondant as well. Once you're done rolling, you can bring them back closer to you. And I'm going to cut 6 pieces with the round cutter, and then we can clean up and get stamping. You just want to push nice and hard on the bench and rub it against the bench just to get it nice clean corners. Now I'm just going to cut 3 of the lighter dusty pink. And if you do run out of room, you can just re-roll that one. This can be re-rolled as many times as you need. Are we going to make it? Oh, we're nearly there. So what I'm going to do is just roll that slightly a little bit more just to make sure we can fit our last circle. There we go, tricks of the trade. Now I'm just going to pop these fondants away just before they do dry out, and then we can come back, stamp and decorate. So now I'm going to take my embosses. I've got 2 different ones here today. I've got the Happy Mother's Day, which I've purchased online through CutterCraft. I'll leave a link below so you can purchase one too. And then I've got Love You, which is from 3D Print All the Things. So I'm gonna go through and put the Happy Mother's Day stamp on the light pink ones. So all you have to do is line it up. These are my favorite brand of embossers because as you can see, it is clear. So you can actually see through the icing underneath to make sure it's scented. Whereas when it is opaque, it is really hard to try and get that scented. And you can kind of see how hard you're pressing and making sure it's even. So these are an amazing, amazing embosser if you want to get some for home, and they have a whole range of different designs. So you don't want to press too hard, but you don't want to do too soft. So you'll find when you start practicing, you'll get the happy medium. So now I'm going to go in with Love You and put that on the dark pink ones. I think this is a gorgeous way to tell your mum you love them this Mother's Day. Just be sure you don't press too hard if you're using a fine 3D printed embosser like this. It's a little bit different than working with the acrylic one, so we just want to gently pop that embossment on. So now I'm just going to take some water and stick my finished icing onto the vanilla biscuit, and I'm going to add some cute little heart sprinkles too, just to finish it off. So I'm going to pick up each piece, and on the back of the fondant I'm going to add a little bit of water. You can change this up if you like and put some jam or caramel. Just make sure you don't add too much here because you don't want it slipping and sliding all over the place. And then we're just going to connect them with our biscuit and just use a dry hand just to smooth that off. Any corn flour that's left we can get off later, so don't worry about that. This is also easier if you do leave them to dry for 5 minutes, just so then they set a little bit so they don't come out of shape. So if you're obviously doing a lot more, like 30 or 50 or whatever at once, that will be a lot easier. Otherwise, just walk away, have a coffee maybe, and come back. So now that I have them all ready, I'm just going to go through with a dry brush and just knock off any corn flour that's excess. So now I'm ready to embellish them. So today I'm just going to keep it quite simple because we do have such a big print on our cookies. So I'm only going to add sprinkles to the edges of the Love You ones. So all you do for that is hold it in your hand, I find the easiest. Take a dab of water. You just got to be really careful with the water because you don't want to overdo it because then it will be a sloppy mess. And you just want to add that water exactly where you want them, and then you can start placing. So I kind of like to get the finer sprinkles first and sprinkle them on just so then they get stuck. Tip off any excess, and then any big ones like our heart sprinkles today, we want to just add a specific spot and then go in with the heart and stick that on. And just push it a little bit so it goes into the fondant. This is best to do while they're still semi-soft because it'll be a lot easier. Oh! It's running away from me. Oh my god, again! I'm gonna get it this time, I promise. Oh, yep. Stuck on there now. Now it's gonna get eaten. So I'm just gonna add a little bit on the base too. The thinner ones first. Then we're just gonna add a little extra for the hearts. And just position them anywhere you like and push. And that's how I'm going to leave mine, but of course you can add sprinkles all around the edge or however you like. Just make them custom to however your mum would love them. And now I'm just going to add some small heart sprinkles to this one. Because it is a wide design and it fits nearly the whole cookie, it may look a bit messy to put the sprinkles on, so I'm just going to add a few little large heart sprinkles. So just wet exactly where you want to put your hearts, and then place those on. So now that we've finished our cookies, you could present these beautifully in a beautiful white gloss box. My preferred supplier is Boxed Packaging, and I buy them online, and then I usually just add some beautiful pink or white fluff in the bottom, and then I would take each cookie and individually seal it in a bag. So then it lasts a long time. So if your mum doesn't eat them straight away, if she has a lot of treats for Mother's Day, she can snack on these whenever she likes them. So that's my preferred way of packaging. But if you're just at home and you don't have any of those supplies available, why don't you purchase her a beautiful platter from the local house shop, and then you can actually give that as a gift. So you could present it beautifully with a range of cookies. You can mix it in with some beautiful lint balls or her favorite chocolates, and then you could actually have that as the ultimate present. She can eat the cookies, eat all the treats, and then have a beautiful presentation board to use after. So there's so many ways you can use your imagination to have gifts this season. Even if it's not Mother's Day, you could present these love you cookies for Valentine's Day or just as a special gift for your loved one. Just get creative and have fun in the kitchen, because that's what it's all about. Thank you so much for joining me. If you love my content, please give it a like and leave me a comment on what you'd like to see next week. And until then, I'll keep baking to keep you guys happy.